This is International Roundup. I'm Dennis Aseto, KTN, in partnership with Bauri. We begin from East Africa, to be specific, in Uganda. And in Uganda, locals have decided to use bamboo as a replacement in timber. This, as they say, these has continued to create jobs and alternatives that does exist in the carpentry business. Take a look.
I looked at our tourism industry. It doesn't, there was a gap. Yeah, there was a gap. There were souvenirs, but they were there for so long time without having anything else to give. So I was looking at something else that can be an alternative actually. Yeah, in case they are tired of the other product, they can look at some of our bamboo products and they purchase. Yeah, so I was just looking at a way how we can increase on our income as a tourism industry. Yeah, for people to spend more, and then after spending more, this money goes back to the people who are in the value chain, the local community, everyone. Yeah, so that's what basically I was looking at. Yeah, so I chose bamboo because of its uniqueness and the fact that when you cut it, it is not that you're affecting any one person, like it regenerates on its own. It is actually the best alternative for timber. So I wasn't looking at something that I would cut and it affects the environment. I was looking at a solution of us not cutting trees, but we leave the trees and then we cut the bamboo, which even regenerates on its own and which doesn't even have any effect.
And still in Uganda, Uganda are saying, we got no fear, bring it on. But to who exactly? They said this to the Welsh rugby team on wheelchairs, this as they continue to push in ensuring that this sport does grow in the country. Ugandans are saying, we're not here to play, we are here to play and win.
In 2018 when we began, we had no equipment at all, so it was hard to play the game. And then we also didn't have the coaches or the referees. We didn't have anything. But we registered the organization, the federation, in 2018. And after that, in 2020, we got the first wheelchairs, the first 2 wheelchairs. Then in 2024, got the next batch.
My fellow players outside there, really I want to say that this game is just about having confidence, focus, realizing where you come from and where you want to go, because it's a big dreams that I had. So my dreams, some of my dreams now I'm achieving. Me sitting here, not because I was just selected to be part of this, but because of the good work, the spirit that I had put in the place for the training with my fellow players.
I selected the players for this team, the Uganda team, and I think I selected too good of a team because they made us push and made us work really hard, and it's everything what we've been doing, they've been going back and watching videos, and today they've come back and watched what we've done and played really hard against us. We couldn't ease off. We had to keep pushing to keep the score in our favour. So yeah, they played really well, and I'm shocked how well they have done, to be fair, and it's made me proud to see that, to be fair.
Like any other para sport, wheelchair rugby also faces a number of challenges. One of them being facilities where we play from, equipment, the rugby chairs, and also the athletes themselves have challenges like poverty. It's a very big challenge because the welfare of an athlete, as long as it's not well thought about, then it will also be a very big barrier to participating in parasport.
Still in East Africa region, this time round we are in neighboring country of Tanzania, and President Samia Suluhu has said that it is time for Africa to own its own future, especially when it comes to development, saying that according to the Africa's Vision 2050 on development, that Africa must back it for us to have our own independence. Take a look.
It is indeed bringing together leaders, investors, financiers, and development partners with a common purpose. The purpose is to transform ideas into bankable projects, partnerships into investments, and Africa's immense potential into lasting prosperity for our people. We meet at the time of heightened global uncertainties, marked by geopolitical tensions, conflicts, climate change, supply chain disruptions, and financial pressures. Although many of the challenges originated beyond Africa, their impact sends ripple effects across our continent. These realities reinforce the need for Africa to build resilience and self-sustaining economies by adding value to our resources, strengthening regional value chains, expanding intra-African trade, and mobilizing domestic capital for our own development. At the heart of this transformation is infrastructure. Our roads, ports, railways, energy systems, and digital networks must drive growth, withstand future shocks, and enhance Africa's competitiveness. By developing bankable projects, mobilizing long-term financing, and attracting private investment, Africa 50 reflects Africa's determination to finance, build and own its own future, and hence, through collaboration, strong partnership, and effective implementation, we can build a more resilient, competitive, and prosperous Africa. Excellencies and distinguished participants, as for us, Tanzania, our infrastructure transformation is guided by the Tanzanian Development Vision 2050 for the 25 years to come.
Let's go to West Africa. To be specific, we are in Ghana. And Ghanaians went to the streets to celebrate what they call Homo. And Homo, according to them, is Christmas. They came out to celebrate the culture that makes the Ghanaians Ghanaians. This is a story of culture that has refused to go.
Homo is our festival. And it is the time set aside to remember our ancestors, our forefathers. So every year is special to us. And this is our new year. This is the Christmas for the Gans. This is who we are. This shows who we are as Gans. We can't go without our tradition and cultures. It's part of us, and that is what identify us as Gans. So if you see me in this cloth, this is for war. This is what our warriors wore years back to fight for the freedom we have today. So if you see me in this, it's to remember our ancestors.
Now, in West Africa still, but this time round in Nigeria, and Nigerians are saying that we must rethink what it is we mean about democracy, as they say that it is time Africa as a whole started to have discussions on what exactly democracy means, because the democracy that Africa has today has been imported from elsewhere.
We have demonstrated that Africa possesses the ideas, experiences, and collective resolve to strengthen democratic governance in the continent. This dialogue has never been conceived as a standalone annual ritual. No, it was supposed not to be a ritual. Since its inception in 2021, this edition has deliberately built on the last, advancing a coherent conversation about the future of democracy in Africa, reminding us that democracy cannot endure where citizens feel excluded from the state. We agree that national unity, inclusion, respect for diversity, and continuous dialogue are the foundation upon which democratic governance must rest.
We were given Western liberal democracy, colonial masters, for quite some time. I have been increasingly worried about performance of democracy in Africa. Democracy is not a destination. It is a journey. And there is no country that has ever reached the end of that journey.
Now let's go to Zimbabwe in the southern part of the continent. And President Emmerson Mnangagwa has celebrated the Zimbabwean Independence Day, even as he says that freedom is not free. There are many who paid the ultimate price for that country to have that independence.
At this 46th Heroes Day commemorations, today we collectively reflect on the sacrifices made by our departed and the living brave sons and daughters of the soil who selflessly dedicated their lives in service of our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. As we do so, we stand tall and proud that we are a united people, peaceful and democratic, fast developing nation. I recognize that while we are here at the national shrine, many are gathered at the provinces, districts, and wards commemorating this sacred day. Others are following online platforms, while our foreign missions are also making this important occasion in various jurisdictions.
Now let's talk about the fight between United States of America, Iran, and Israel. And President Donald Trump has said that United States has total control of Strait of Hormuz, further warning that they're just waiting for Iran to do something and that United States will respond and perhaps blow the entire Iran away. One asks the question, just when will sense be common?
I don't trust Iran. Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years. It's really 51 if you think about it, right? We've been saying 47 for 4 years. And they're no longer the bully of the Middle East. Thank you very much, everybody.
Now, the war between Israel and Palestine has been in existence for a very long time. Talk about Gaza, and that is a common subject. Now, at the United Nations offices, Israel and Palestine clashed openly as they continue to fight on who exactly is on the wrong. Many are saying they are not occupiers. The others are saying they are not settlers. But where is the solution is the big question.
We exist as a state. Look, I sit behind the plaque that says State of Palestine. We have 160 countries that recognize the State of Palestine, including the great majority of the members of this Security Council. The reality is that one state is illegally occupying the land of the other state. So therefore, we need the international community, the Security Council, to help the State of Palestine that lives under ruthless occupation, illegal occupation, using the words of the International Court of Justice, to help us to end this illegal occupation, as the International Court of Justice said, as rapidly as possible.
While Palestinian terrorists seek to drive Israelis from their homes, some voices in this council speak as though Jews have no right to live in Judea and Samaria. That is not true. We are not occupier, we are not settler. Our right to live in our land is based on our historical connection to it. It is described in the Torah, the Old Testament, and even the Quran mentioned the connection of Jews to the land. This past week, Jews around the world read this verse from the Torah. I will read it first in Hebrew. כי אתם עוברים את הירדן לבוא לרשת את הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיכם נותן לכם וירשתם אותה וישבתם בה. And in English, You are crossing the Jordan River to inherit the land which God is giving you. You will inherit it and dwell in it.
Still in the United States of America, and over 13,000 acreage of land has gone up in fire due to the wildfire that continues to be experienced in the country. These as firefighters and first responders continue to work day and night to bring down the fires that are being experienced in the United States. Now let's go to Europe. And the European Union Commission has admitted that it intervened especially on the migratory problem between Italy and Spain, because both countries were putting in place tit-for-tat mechanisms when it comes to migration. This is the story that talks about a fundamental question in EU, especially now that we have seen many have moved from Morocco towards Italy and further into the other European countries. Take a look.
Are in a bit of a diplomatic row around migration, SOTA and stuff. Italy says that they want to keep the checks until August 15th because there's concern about the rumors that migrants might come back to the Spanish enclave. So I just wanted to know, do you share that concern? How basically do you assess things ahead of August 15th? Thanks.
So indeed, we can confirm that we have received a notification from Italy and Spain regarding the introduction of internal border checks. You might have seen that Commissioner Bruno actually was in close and regular contact with both the Spanish and the Italian authorities, including the interior ministers. And both ministers actually publicly confirmed that the internal controls are temporary. So the Commissioner explained to the ministers the underlying legal framework under Schengen, and specifically it really underlined the progress made in tackling illegal migration and how trust between member states is really our most valuable currency. So in this context, the Spanish authorities actually assured that the events in Ceuta will have no lasting effects on the Schengen area. And actually, if positive developments continue, the overall expectation of the Commission is that the overall situation, regarding those internal border checks, will be back to normal. Let us stress that actually the Spanish and the American authorities have worked efficiently and effectively actually to handle the returns so far of those who entered Ceuta illegally from Morocco. And we understand that at this moment, illegal movement onwards to mainland Spain and Europe has so far been successfully prevented. So again, as we said last week, really our expectation is that all those who remain in Ceuta illegally must be returned. It's very important important again to underline that it's crucial to spare no efforts to also prevent further illegal crossing and senseless tragic death.
Very well now, we are still in Europe and there is an existing drought, or rather heat waves that are being experienced in the European countries. And Germany now is concerned because the hunger stones have started showing up, an indicator that water levels have gone so low. This means the country is moving in fast and in speed to ensure that they address this problem. Very well, football season is back. When you talk about the English Premier League, the La Liga, or pretty much across the world, the football season is back. And the uncertainty on where Alvarez would go has ended because Alvarez has joined Atletico Madrid. This is the story for football lovers. Take a look. India celebrated its independence, and with that, millions throngs on the streets to wave the Indian flag as a sign of independence that they continue to enjoy over 80 years later. This is a story of triumph that the country went through for it to be where it is today, among the big players in the world. And finally, we are in Russia. It is a story of the hunter and the prey. Now, tourists in Russia were treated to what many would call a marvel and a spectacle when an orca was witnessed dragging away its prey. It is a story of survival for the fittest, especially in the hunting game. This is that story.
Что у тебя во рту? Что у него во рту? Посмотрите, что это такое? Какой ты гигантский! Пожалуйста, вау! Даша, можно было погладить, какая она гигантская.
Слева, слева, слева. Вот он под нами. Смотри, держись.
Tanzania has said that Africa must find its own solutions as it supports the continent's Vision 2050. This, as Nigeria as well, is speaking about the fact that there is no democracy that is African-led, that African countries must sit down and agree on what democracy really is in the continent. And we still talk about the Strait of Hormuz, where the United States is warning that it could still bomb out Iran even as attempts to find solutions to this war continue to be put on. All this week on International Roundups. Dennis Aseto, KTN, in partnership with Biori.